If you own a Mitsubishi, then check out Rossport. I get almost all of my Stevo parts from Rossport. They provide a large selection of aftermarket and OEM parts, and they're at very competitive prices. The parts get to you as quick as possible, and that's why I've always used Rossport. Check out the link in the description. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be working again on Stevo the Evo. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what parts I'm going to be fitting. Alright, so today we're going to be fitting the Whiteline roll center correction kit. Now the reason we would do that is basically the steering geometry on Evo 10s especially is very well calculated from the factory. So when we raise the ride height, we're actually going to when we lower the ride height, with the install of the coilovers, we're actually going to affect the roll center. So this is a specific calculation of the angle of certain parts of the suspension to make them all work as good as they possibly can. Now, when you lower the car, which we've had to do because the Evo, as standard, is pretty high, it's jacked right up in the air as a rally car. You don't have to do this, but it will definitely help. And with the performance car, we want to get every little bit of handling out of it as we can. This will definitely help to restore the factory sort of calculations, roll center, so that it all works properly. So that's the plan. New tie rod ends, new ball joints. So Stevo's over here, looking pretty good. And I gotta say, he's looking awesome now with the brakes that have been redone. I've just started bedding them in. So as you can see, the rusty discs are starting to clean up nicely as the pad sort of slowly shapes to the disc. So yeah, now the job for today, basically, got to remove the two wishbones, both sides, then the tie rod ends. So here's the tie rod end there. So that's the plan. Let's crack on. Wishbones out, pretty simple really. There's one bolt there, one bolt at the front there, and then you've got to remove the bolt in the hub so you can pop up the ball joint. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The hardest bit really was breaking the nut loose on this tie rod end. Now before I go and install the new tie rod, I'm going to have to basically count how many rotations it takes to unwind this, because the amount of rotations actually affects the tracking. So I'm going to tighten it back up. So when I come to actually replace that for the upgraded one, that's what I'll do. Now, off the car now, I'm going to actually have this ball joint removed. I'm probably going to go over to a friend of mine, Sparkplug Steve, you've probably seen him on YouTube. He's going to use his big vise to push out that ball joint for me. My vise is only little, so I don't think it'll be strong enough basically to push out the ball joint. So that's the plan. Now I've just got to do the same on the other side, and then we'll crack on. So we're over at Sparkplug Steve's. He's doing his magic, getting out the crusty old ball joint. We don't have a press, and I'm not willing to buy one either because they're quite expensive. So what Steve's managed to do with his big, actually you tell us what you've done.
I moved the big vise. Yeah, so big vise, a couple of chunks of alloy. I turn this handle, and that's what is the trick to it.
Yeah, so we put a bolt through the two bits.
Oh, and there it is, look.
And what's happened is
We caught the grand finale.
we've managed to press it out like that.
Just like that, boys.
Let's have a look at him. He haven't got his scientist outfit on, but he is a scientist. So explain to us how this roll center kit is a waste of money then.
Right. Well, this is the same length as a standard one, which we've mutilated. Even though I don't look it, that's the insert that goes inside. But to correct your roll center, you need to have a longer pin on this style. So it's the ball inside is your reference point, so the pin has to be longer to push the wishbone down. But then if it's Honda, they fit the other way. They have a longer body and the same size pin. It's complicated, but that is exactly the same as the standard one. The
whole point is the standard, the roll center correction kit is supposed to push down the ball joint effectively. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a bit longer, but it's the exact same. So we're basically just putting a Whiteline version of the factory ball joint back in. Now,
I take it back, it might actually be longer.
Do you reckon?
Actually, it is.
It's longer.
No, if we line it up, it's about that much longer.
Ah, so they are all correcting then.
Yeah.
We take it all back. Sorry, Whiteline. We are your friends.
It didn't appear to be at first, but what do I know, eh? I would say that's probably about 10 mil. 10 mil difference.
10 mil, really?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
What, do you think it's more or less? If I try and line the top of that ball where the top of that ball is, what, 10?
Oh, it is when you do that, yeah. Now, we're just going to fit the new ones, so I'm not sure what Steve got planned for this.
I'm going to knock it in with my head and just going to hit it.
Stick it in your mouth and just ram it in.
Yeah, just chew it in. So, I'll
Right.
probably heat this up. I might go and put this in the freezer and then hopefully it'll just slide in.
Right, so back at my place now. Going to fit these wishbones back in with the new ball joints that Sparkplug Steve fit for me. Now then, should be pretty simple. Just the reverse of the removal, and then we're going to have to, where is it? Around here somewhere. Replace that tie rod end for the roll correcting one. Okay, so it's a few days later. I could not get this tie rod end out. I torqued up all the bolts, got it all ready. I thought, oh, I'll just pop this out now and I'll be done. But no, it wasn't to be. Steve-O fights me every step of the way. Now, managed to get the old tie rod end out. Had to go to Machine Mart, buy a propane torch, I think they're called. So got him really nice and toasty. And then we managed to tap him out. I was literally smacking it for like 2 hours with a hammer. And it would not come out no matter what. I got the proper tool, I got the proper separators and everything, and it just would not come out. So heat, yeah, makes things a lot easier. I'm glad I got that torch now. Now then, let's fit the new tie rod end. So I've already broken the seal on this just to make sure it's not seized. As soon as this is done now, he's going to get booked in with Avia Motorsport for a full race alignment, and then we're going to be taking him for some mapping. But the map I want to use quite far away, so I don't really want to be driving 200-300 miles without the alignment done, because I could mince those tires up pretty quick. So we're going to get the race alignment done quite local, and then we're going to move on then to further mods. So yeah, just got to fit that tie rod now, same as the other side. Just got to wind it in, pop it up there, and then do up the nut. So it's important for the inside nut not to change where the location is, so that the tracking is at least somewhat similar to what it was. It won't be the same, as you can see, look. That's where it's snug. So it is going to be out, but I probably got to drive about 10-15 miles to go to Avia. So it's not really going to put too much weight on the tyres if it's a little bit out just going up there. So I'm going to just sort of get it as close as I feel I can and let them deal with it. They're the professionals. So just stick it up like this. Then we just put the nut on the end, tighten up the nut, and then it will sort of press it in then. Tighten it up like that. Happy days. Now, once we've torqued it up, you can actually turn this and we can snug this up then, like that. And then we put a bit of torque then on that final nut just to really get it tight. I'll torque up this, I'll torque up the other side, I'll put his wheels on, and then we're done for today. So as you can see, I'm going to take Steve-O now out for a little test drive, see how the coilovers, the anti-roll bar and all that is doing. First impressions. Well, I forgot how aggressive that engine mount was that I fit a few videos ago. I've done a fresh reteach on Steve-O as well, and his gearbox is feeling lovely and crisp. I fixed a couple of exhaust leaks. Some of the gaskets were leaking. But now let's test out the handling. So we're going to wait for him to get up to temperature. We're going to go to a private road. It's not too far away. And we're going to push him in the corners a little bit. Now he's not going to drive as good as he should do because we haven't had the race alignment done. I booked that in first thing this morning, and it'll be going down in 4 days time. So we'll be having him all corner weighted and all the geometry set up. So the power feels great. A lot of people who come in this car, not a single person has said that feels like 260 brake, but the brakes, phenomenal. I was driving Steve-O yesterday, and there was a motorcyclist on the wrong side of the road overtaking like an idiot, and anyway, out of reflex I just tapped the brakes, and honestly the car locked up at 70 odd mile an hour. It just locked up. So they're so powerful, you got to retrain your brain how much brake power, brake force you need. Sure if you got that, but yeah, it's a bit of opposite correction there. So it does oversteer, it will sometimes understeer, but the point is the car is adjustable, and that's all you can really ask for on the road. When we take it on track, I'll be able to further tune it, but there's nothing you can really do on the road without being an idiot. Thanks for watching the video. Steve-O's coming along great, making a lot of progress. He's handling amazing, and I can't wait to see how he drives with his new alignment and with some tweaking of the dampers. I haven't touched anything damper wise, they're all exactly as they were when they come out of the box. So there's a lot of handling left on the car to get out of it, but yeah, it's looking exciting. So I'm in talk with Ross Sport now, hoping to get some engine modifications from them. So in the next few videos there'll be a couple of engine mods perhaps, and hopefully a remap. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers guys.